Hello, welcome to tonight's episode of Rising Vibes. Before we get started, wanted to let you guys know if you are not following the YouTube channel, make sure you go on and click the link in the bio and subscribe. Tonight's guest is Landlord Jack. I have so many of you guys have been wanting to know when I was going to get Landlord Jack on the show, and so I have finally been able to get him on the show. One thing I do have to say before I actually bring him on, I work hard to try to get these ladies and gentlemen on the show, but a lot of times you guys have to realize that they are extremely busy. So when I am able to secure a little bit of time with them, I try to respect the fact that they're extremely busy. You know, we all have busy lives, but they're doing a favor to come on the show. So I just appreciate over all these 6 years that the show has been going, that you guys are very respectful, making sure that you guys, ask great questions. Hey there, ask great questions, are very attentive, are very kind to the guests. I know, we're going to have stuff that's going to come up or things that are going to happen. And so from time to time, we have to reschedule. But for the most part, you guys have been an amazing audience over all these years. So for that, I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, just make sure you go on and click the link in my bio and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And also, if you wanted to get any merch or any G-Body or Dunk or Bot Chevy parts, that if for the parts, you need to make sure that you go follow G-Body Parts Connect. Even though I know it says G-Body Parts, it's not just G-Body. So make sure you guys go follow that page. And for the merch, you do all that through the Rising Vibes page, the Rising Vibes website. And yeah, so that's what we're doing. While we wait for Jack to come on, let me tell y'all something. I'm not sure if y'all seen Jack on the Shade Room. Yeah, he made the Shade Room. I don't follow the Shade Room because it's Shade Room, but he made the Shade Room for something amazing. He sold Cash Doll. She apparently has a boyfriend, and she bought the truck from Landlord Jack that she bought her boyfriend for his birthday. So I thought that was super dope. So I just spoke with Jack a few minutes ago, so he should be coming on in just a second. Hey there. I think those were all so there's Jack, but like I said, if y'all wanted to subscribe to the YouTube channel, go ahead and click the link in the bio. Hey there, one of the hardest working men in show business.
What's good? What's good?
Hey Jack, when they told me you had made the Shade Room, I was like, no, not Jack. Jack don't do nothing wrong.
Yeah, I made the Shade Room in a good way.
You know what? I historically don't follow the Shade Room or look at anything they post because shade. You know what I'm saying? But when it's a good, positive story, I like that. And I am really a person that likes to give people their flowers while they're here to smell them. So we'll get into that. But I first want to tell you, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to sit down and talk to me.
I'm glad I was finally able to do it. We've been talking about it for a long time, so I'm glad it finally came to light.
I feel like I'm like Urkel and you're like Laura. I wore you down.
What it is, sometimes when you're consistent and you're consistently genuine,
right?
At first you might be like, man, I don't, I'm busy, I don't have time. But then when someone's consistently, it's like my mom said, you kill someone with kindness. When you're consistently genuine,
right?
It's like, man, how can I not do that? You know what I mean? You showed a lot of love for the South Carolina show with Dope Girl Nate show, and I couldn't not, show love. So here we are.
Well, I appreciate you. So I'll start off with one of my questions, and then I get right into the fans' questions. Okay?
All right.
All right. So tell me how you became being into cars.
I was a young kid. It's kind of I don't know. It's crazy story kind of, but what happened was when I was young, I was probably about 10, 11 years old, and I was at my nana's house, and my cousins lived there. You know, everybody lived in my nana's. Well, this Monte Carlo pulled up, an '87 Monte Carlo T-top SS, and it was the like burgundy champagne color.
Right.
So boom, the car, I hear it. I hear the motor. You know, I'm just a kid. So I look out the window. I said, damn, that's a cool car. That was the first car that I seen where I was like, dang, this a cool car. So the dude gets out. He had his hair all done, had gold on. He stepped out. He walked a certain way. And then boom, my cousin walks outside and he tells me, go inside. Like I wasn't allowed to go out there. So now my curiosity's kicking in. I'm like, who's this? I see my cousin get something from me, gives him some money. Dude takes off in the car. Vroom, takes off. A couple hours later, he comes back. Vroom. So I'm looking at the car and the dude too, because you know I was curious. Like, man, who's this? Man, I ain't never seen nobody cool like this at our spot.
Right.
About 20 minutes later, boom. Here comes my aunt. She comes in the house. My cousin's in the back room. He's bugging out. I don't even know what drugs are at this time. I'm a kid.
Right.
She goes, he's on crack. I said, crack? I said, what? She goes, he spent all the money. And they're arguing about money. So I'm still trying to figure out who the guy is in the cool car. Boom, that cool car came back again. So I tell my aunt, I said, hey, that's that car. I like that car. She goes, he's a crack dealer. I said, what? I didn't know what crack was. I told her, why aren't we selling that? That's how I started liking it. That was the first car I liked, was the '87 Monte Carlo T-top. It was the dope man's car. And then from then, coming up, then I was in, 15, 16, I bought a Chevy C10. When I was young and started working on it, was a piece of shit. So you had to work on it to keep them running. And then you start, when you got a piece of shit, you working on it to get it running. You like, hey, let's try to make this a little nicer. And then the bar kept raising. The next thing you know, a couple things happened in my life that put me in certain positions, and then it just kept growing. And then the bar just kept raising, and that's where I'm at here today.
So it all started from, I'm Team G Body, so it all started from a G Body.
Yeah, I like cars. I can see a Kia Sophia and be like, look at the trim on that car, or look at, I like cars. Just you look in my garage, it isn't. I've always had big bodies. I like big bodies. My dad had a dunk. I've always, I'm from Florida. I love dunks. I like big body cars. It ain't necessarily just dunks, but that love for them I had before all this hype. I was riding dunks in early 2000s. In 2002, I'm riding Buick Deuce and a quarters. That's why when you look in my garage, you're gonna see a variety of different cars. It's not just I'm not just about the dunks.
But that's the thing. I tell people this all the time. They're like, KP, you're from Florida. Why isn't your car a choice of dunk? I'm like, bro, we saw dunks. I'm not saying dunks are new to the rest of the world, but what I am saying is we saw dunks growing up. Like
yeah.
Dunks are maybe newer to a lot of places, but to us, it was a way of life when we was growing up.
Yeah, dunks didn't cost this kind of money when I was younger. When I was younger, you'd be able to get a vert for 7,000, 10,000. You get a hard top for 3,000. And then, the hype came. The next thing you know, here it comes,
Right. So for those that don't know, let's get into why they call you Landlord Jack.
They call me Landlord Jack because I'm the landlord. I'm a real estate investor by trade. That's really what I do for a living. These cars are just a hobby. A lot of people think I build cars and sell cars. It's really just a hobby that I love and my passion, but I'm a landlord. I have 43 rental properties.
So what gave you the mindset? Because we talked a little bit about the 87 that you saw pull up, right?
Yeah.
And you said everybody lived at Nana's house, right? So you told Auntie, like, why we ain't selling crack? Like, so from coming from there, what gave you the insight to invest in rental properties?
Really, I put the book out, Keys Over Degrees. It's in the book. but really owning what you stand on. You know, a lot of people, you know, people always say, you know, what you stand on, what you believe in. Owning what you stand on is you go your whole life, and it's okay if you rent. It's okay if you haven't owned nothing yet, and it's okay, you know, don't take this the wrong way. This is just my personal thing, you know, it's for everybody. When I wake up in the morning, I put my 2 feet on the ground and I stand up, you're gonna have to stand for something. So no
Right.
matter what, when you stand on something, it was crazy to me that I wasn't standing on something I owned. And people go their whole life laying and standing on something they don't own. So why not own something, even if it's a small piece of land, just be able to stand on that. When I bought my first property, it was $5,000, and I remember grabbing the dirt and letting it like kind of go through my hands, and I'm looking at it, and that was so fascinating to me that I own that. It's like, damn, I own that. So just owning something was the beginning of it. And then once I realized what passive income was and being able to earn money while you're sleeping, and I'm selling time. The only thing that don't stop in the world is time. And when you sell time, the money's gonna keep coming because I'm selling time 1 month at a time. So there was just certain things that clicked. I'm like, dang. And then it was like, I don't have to find more product. The product's there over and over. I'm cleaning it up and selling it. Anything that you can buy, that you can rent and get back and get back and get back, it's there forever. This land ain't going nowhere. My kids are gonna eat off this. My daughter eats off it now, but her kids are gonna eat off this. And the only thing that can separate that from anything is knowledge. So I make sure I give my daughter the knowledge. I'm gonna make sure my grandkids have the knowledge. I'm gonna put a playbook together for their kids. So this goes forever. But owning something, that's really what it was.
Right. So you just woke up one day and thought about it, or did you have people around you saying, "Hey, listen, this
You
is
know,
what
I've
you
always
should."
bought and sold so since a young kid, you know, even before like Craigslist and the internet, we had something called the flyer, and anything under $150 was free to post. You know, I'm 13 years old. Hey, my mom, we got this couch. Ain't no one been sitting on that couch. I'm gonna put this for sale. And it would come in the mail once a week. So I always bought things and sold things. So I learned at a young age buying and selling. So then when I realized, hey, you know, I was able to get to the cars, and I was buying and selling cars. And then the next step after that, really, when you think of investments, most people's most valuable things is their real estate, their cars, you know, stocks get in there sometimes, but a car and real estate are your two big investments in life. So I was selling cars, and then I always said, sell something that everybody, you know, needs. So you know, you got food, you got cars, there's certain things, but land, they ain't making no more land, you know.
Right.
So it was just a no-brainer, just being a hustler. Anybody who's a hustler is always gonna say, hey man, I want to get into real estate. I want to get into real estate. Every hustler, man, I want to get into real estate because it's that's the big thing. That's, you know what I mean? What's the biggest thing in the world? The biggest thing in the world is the world. Why not own a piece of it?
Right.
That's how I see it.
What made you decide to write a book?
Um, Turning people away from my knowledge, because a lot of people will write me and say, "Hey Jack, how can I get into real estate?" And that's a vague question. You know
Right.
what I mean? So it's like I gotta ask them, you know, where do you live? What kind of money you have? Are you gonna do credit? Are you gonna, you know, there's so much that goes into different styles of investing with real estate that when they say I want to get into real estate, I don't have enough time, and my platforms got big, so big where I'm getting too many messages. Where if someone messages me and says I want to get into real estate, I say, have you bought my book yet?
Yeah.
You know, that's the easiest, cheapest way to get knowledge from me without me having to drag out a whole conversation, waste time. You know, read that. Then when you come to me and you have the knowledge I gave you, I can hold a conversation with you now.
Right.
You know, it's just like teaching a kid how to talk compared to meeting somebody and they know how to talk. I don't want to teach you how to talk and then have to talk to you. Read the book, learn the lingo, and then when you get done with the book, come talk to me. Now we can have an intelligent conversation about real estate because you know a little something because I told you everything in the book.
You
That's
know
it.
what's pretty impressive to me? A lot of you guys who are on a large scale with selling the cars or having big car collections are also into real estate.
Yeah, that goes hand in hand because here you go from the cars and being a hustler and buying and selling cars. What's the next big asset is
Right.
land. So it kind of goes hand in hand. And a lot of those people that are also into the cars, that are into the land, that I talk to a lot of them on the back line, they're gonna tell me, hey, this account's paying these dividends, or this stock is doing this, or I'm playing with this cryptocurrency. Everybody has different little avenues, and everybody, a hustler's always just looking for the new play. What's the new play? We're gonna elevate, um, and we're gonna transition to different things to transition in times. So I think people in the car game that buying and selling are gonna be, they're hustling 10 different ways normally.
Let me tell you something. So speaking of stock, right?
Mm-hmm.
When during the before the pandemic, I was kind of playing around with stocks, right? But
Yeah.
during the pandemic, I started following this guy, and I can't for the life of me remember his name right now, but I followed him, and I was like, everything this man say, well, 85 to 90% of the things that this man talks about, and he put us on these plays, the stock really makes some money. So I said, the next thing he say, I'm gonna take at least 1,000 and invest in it. The next thing he said was Peloton. Now remember, we was locked down. Like we was
Yeah.
on. People were scared to go outside, right?
Sure.
He said Peloton. I took $1,000 and put in Peloton. I made $10,000. That was like selling dope to me. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, let me get this money out.
Yeah. Was a sweet lick. No, for sure.
It, it was. And
Sure.
ever since then, I follow Buddy and I invest and I make money. And I tell people one of the smartest things I ever heard an investor say is invest in what you buy. Like you talked about the houses.
Yeah.
Invest in what you buy. You buy Nikes, right? You buy Jordan. Invest in Nike. You buy
Yeah.
everybody. You gotta have the newest
Well,
iPhone.
what happens too when I believe where I see like invest in what you buy, that's investing what you have knowledge in because what you buy you have knowledge in, so you're going to kind of understand what that market's doing. So let's say you invest in golf clubs. You might say, hey, you know what, golf clubs are cheaper during the winter because nobody's playing golf because of the snow, so the time to invest in this is that. So the simple knowledge that you have in the product you buy can help you make decisions when to buy and sell your stocks. So that's where I think they get that from.
Right. Even stuff like I told somebody this the other day. Everybody in the world buys toilet tissue.
Yo,
Invest in the company,
yo,
the most popular company you know that makes toilet tissue.
yo. No,
Guess what
you're
it
right.
is? It's not Charmin. It's Procter and Gamble.
Okay.
So invest in Procter and Gamble. I have
Yeah.
Procter and Gamble stock,
Yeah. That's strong. No,
and
that's
and
smart.
and Procter and Gamble makes so many different things.
Yep. So now you're
They
catching things on all across the spectrum.
cereal, air freshener, all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So when I got into that, I was like, oh man, I don't profess to know everything about it, but it's kind of like being the president. The president might not be the smartest person. Well, not, I don't know about this one, but the president might not be the smartest person in the room, but they usually surround themselves by smart people.
Yeah. You don't want to be the smartest person in the room.
Right, right,
That's how you trap yourself
right,
because when you don't feel you need to grow, when you feel insecurities make growth for most people. So if you're insecure about something, it's going to make you want to change it so that's growth. So if I'm around somebody and I'm bragging because I have these, 40 something rentals, and then I feel like the big dog because they're like, man, landlord's got 40 something, he's this, that, da, 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 da. And I'm in the room and I'm like, yeah, But when I go to that other room and I'm with these other people and they're saying they own 1,000 units, 2,000 units, and I'm sitting there and they ask me what I own, and I'm insecure to say I have 43, that's when I know I'm in the right room. Because these people that think my 43 or something crazy, they're not going to be able to show me how to get to 44. So these people with 1,000, when they're like, you only have 43? Why is that? And I'm going to say, I don't know. You tell me. Boom. Now I got the knowledge.
right.
So, man, you can get trapped because it's also fun to be the biggest one in the room. You control the room,
Yeah,
but that only gets you so far.
absolutely.
You know.
Do you deal with, do you feel like you deal with, I'm not sure about where, where you live, but do you feel like a lot of times when you're in the situation that you're in, you deal with people just hating you just because, just for no apparent reason? You get what I'm saying? Like,
Um. Yeah, no apparent reason to me is what my beliefs are. So when I'm doing something and I think what I'm doing is right, that's my belief. Someone else's beliefs might not think that the Bucks are the best football team. You know what I mean? I think, man, I'm from Tampa, the Bucks are it. So sometimes people may not have the same views, and then that causes them not to like you. Nobody can say they don't like me because I did them wrong. You know what I mean? They can say they don't like me because I like 7.5s and they got a 7.1, or they can say preferences. No one can say they don't like me because I crossed them. That's what I do know. As far as hate goes, like in my city like that, I don't know. I don't I show so much love that even when someone's hating on me, shit, I still show love. I still like, you know what I mean? I like the picture. That's cool. Look what she got, man. I respect it. And I kind of want people to hate to win. So I try to like the pictures. I try to do as much as I can for them too, because normally when they're hating, it's because what they have isn't as big as what you have going on. So I kind of want theirs to get bigger so they quit hating on me. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna support them. So anybody, you know what I mean, someone's hating on me, I'm still gonna support them because I want them to win. Because man, the winners don't cry. You know what I mean? So
one thing I definitely believe in, like I said previously, is I believe in giving people their flowers while they're here to smell them. And now that I just hit 6 years of doing my show on September 2nd. So I like to do like a little,
congratulations.
thank you, I appreciate it. So I like to do like a little bit of research on the people that I'm gonna bring on, right?
Yeah.
You know, one thing I couldn't, I, well, I was not that I was looking for it,
Yeah.
but I did not find anyone who could, who had something negative to say about you.
Yeah.
And that speaks a lot. That means you keep your face clean. And I
I
try to
come
tell people
especially
about the
keep my
importance
face
of keeping your
clean.
face clean.
I might not see eye to eye with a lot of people or their beliefs or what they have, but I don't have no beef with nobody, man. I hope everybody wins. I think a lot of people it's just like in the car game. I feel like when I was a kid and we had a rough house. Our house wasn't real nice. I couldn't have people really come to my house like that. You know what I mean? So I was embarrassed. But I could put that outfit on. I could put the clothes on. I could have that same pair of Nike Air Force Ones I'm cleaning with the toothbrush. I done had them for months, but they look fresh. I could put all that on and I could walk out that house, and then when people see me, they view me as, man, he got it together. So the same thing with these cars. A lot of these people, all this is all they got is a car. So that pain that they have that they're going through at home or at their house or whatever pain or insecurities they're going through, when they put this cape on and they're inside this car, now they everything. And sometimes that'll play tricks with your head because now when you're everything, you're gonna be cocky. But then when you go home, that pain's still there because your shit ain't together. Your credit ain't together. Your money ain't together. Your old lady's running off. You know what I mean? You got bullshit going on. So that's what happens with these cars. It's just like anything. Someone puts a cape on and now they act a certain way. And I try to be humble, but a lot of times that's how I feel. A lot of people, I don't know, they covering their pains with their success of having a car. I don't know.
You know what says a lot to me though? If I think about like the most successful people I know, most of them are usually the most humble. The other ones, the ones who seemingly have it together,
Hmm.
in my experience, not everybody, but
Yeah.
for the most part, those the ones that be like super cocky, and you be like, bro, I know you in real life, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like
For sure.
I know you, right?
Nah, for sure. Nah, definitely. I don't know. I don't judge nobody off of none of that. I feel like who you are with the money, without the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
because a sucker is a sucker, and money don't change that. So I don't know. I don't judge people off that. I never really got excited off of like see somebody with a bunch of things where I'm like they're better.
Yeah.
Now I may see somebody with a lot of things and say, dang, how did they get those? What you got going on? I need to be over there. You know what I
Right.
mean? I want to be over there because I need to see how they got it. You got two types of people. You got someone when the Lamborghini pulls up to the neighborhood, you know, you got the kid that says, man, I'm gonna go talk to him and see if I can work for him. You know what I mean? I want to know what he does for a living. Then you got the other one that when he pulls up, they say, damn, let's rob him. I wonder what we can get from him. I wonder if he wants to buy something. Then when they go to sell him something, they're going to sell it to him for more money, they think in their head, because he has money. But really, they're just tricking themselves by doing things like that. You know what I mean? Because now the opportunity that they had, they killed their own opportunities with people and success.
Right.
You know, and a lot of times people don't never want to praise somebody as far as putting them on a platform. I'd say not praise, but putting somebody on a platform because they feel like, oh, that's gonna make me look smaller. That's gonna make me look this, you know. But that same person you put on a platform enough times they say, dog, help me out. You know what I mean? I'm gonna look out for him. Or just like you were consistent, you know, you always genuine. You know, I said I'll do the interview and I blow it off. I'll do the interview, I'll blow it off. But you was genuinely consistent. And eventually it's like, all right, let's do it, whatever. Man, we're gonna do the interview, let's do the interview. And we did it. You know what I mean? Not saying that you had to beg me or had to, you know, but it's one of them things where I'm like, man, I'm busy. And it was when you came out there and how Nay was saying, man, she really supported the show. You know, she's always been so good. I have to, you know what I mean? You earn that. And that's how I feel like people don't never earn that because they're scared to give praise or scared to share. You know, I feel like another thing on Instagram, people's pages get lost. Like I don't see your page. I really don't. The God's
Yeah.
honest truth. But
Yeah.
when I do see it, man, I'm gonna hit it with the switch. You know, I'm gonna like 10 posts. And a lot of times people get lost in the algorithms, you know?
Yeah.
And then I feel like I don't know, shit. Things get weird with that internet, man.
You know what? You said almost the same thing that Royal Family King said. Cause I've
What's on my
probably
dog
been
Sonny?
hitting both of y'all up around the same amount of time, and he kept on saying, "Okay, I got you. Okay, I got you. Okay, I'm moving. Okay, when I get the shop together. Okay, when I
Yeah.
do this." And I would just every 3-4 months, just hey, don't forget about
I
me.
was surprised when you had him on there because he don't show his face.
He
You know, I've
doesn't.
been around him, hanging out. You know, that's my dog. So, you know, here I am. I'm like, man, put the camera out. Let's go. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get a picture with motherfucker so and so. We're gonna be over here. You know, I'm gonna put on a performance. But Sonny, he's like, man, he's taking pictures like this and wearing masks and you know what I mean. For
Yeah.
him to do that, I was like, dang, you definitely got some respect from Sonny.
And that's what I was one thing I tell people all the time. For me, it's amazing the respect that I get from the people that I get the respect from. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just a regular girl from Duval County, right?
Yeah,
I never would have thought that I use this as an example. This is not the only one, but I use this as an example most of the time, right? I used to watch Murph on East Coast Riders, right?
yeah, for sure,
And when Murph started following me and we became actual friends before he passed away, RIP to him,
for
you
sure.
you would have thought Barack Obama came to follow me. Like I was like, okay, you can kill me now. Like I'm
Yeah,
good.
Murph done follow me. Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
And then the fact that we
Murph,
actually became friends, I was like, wow.
yeah, Murph definitely a legend for sure.
Right.
Murph a
He
legend.
Murph used to tell me all the time, he was like, KP, I don't think you understand how big you gonna be. And he would speak life into me. I was like, dang, Murph, I don't see it. Or something would happen and I'll call him and be like, Murph,
Yeah,
he was like, KP, it's okay. You don't understand. You gonna be all right. You got a lot of people backing you. Like you
so
got a lot of support. And I just think a lot of times now that he's gone, what what would he say now? And I don't even think that I've reached the pinnacles that I am gonna reach or that I want to reach. But I just be like, I wonder what he will be saying now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A
Yeah.
lot's changed. A lot changed fast in the dunk culture
Yeah.
from COVID till now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That
So I got
COVID has changed the game for the dunks.
absolutely, absolutely. So I have a two-part question. What is your favorite part about the car culture, and what is your least favorite part? The part that you hate. So the part that you love and the part that you hate.
Um, the part that I love is the cars. Truly, it's the cars. You know what I mean? And the part that I hate is that in the dunk world, dunks became a fashion statement, not a love. You know what I mean? Where dunks became, that's the cool thing to have, not necessarily I like cars, I build cars, I fuck with cars. It was, and it's okay because it's cool because I like to see where the game went and I like to see dunks put on that platform and it became mainstream. So it's like a love hate, but I feel like a lot of people are in the car game aren't car people. They just attention people.
Right.
I get the same excitement when I drive my car to the gas station by myself. I might jump out the gas station, have that door open and looking and ain't nobody around to even see me. I'm just looking at my shit. I'm vibing by myself.
Right.
Everybody likes attention too. So when I get attention, that's cool. But at the same time, I love my car when ain't nobody looking. So that was one of the things that is I would say is like I wish it was more car people in the dunk world.
Yeah. So the saying now is there are car guys and then there are guys with cars. You wish there
Of
were more
course,
car guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. And I don't know. It's a competition to find people's flaws. It feels like too in the dunk world, where like a lot of other car cultures, whether it's the lowrider world or it's the Honda tuner world or it's whatever the mini trucks. There's a lot of different car cultures where if this guy over here, his car, his shock blew out on his lowrider truck. These people are gonna run to try to fix it and help him fix it. You know what I mean? What do you mean? How can I fix it? Man, it seems like in this dunk world, they just, man, I hope that shot falls off his shit. Let me take a picture of it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't post flaws. I don't, you know,
Yeah.
that
You
that's
know,
that's something else.
one of the things I really hate is like I don't really post. I probably have only posted one accident or one when something happens to somebody's car because I feel like, okay, I'm working on a car. And God forbid if something happened to my car after I put all that money and
Yeah,
time and my heart and soul and now I gotta open Instagram and every time I open Instagram, I see y'all posting something happened to my car. I'm already over here and
yeah,
I'm already losing it.
for sure.
And then y'all, every time I open Instagram, it's posted.
Yeah,
I'm
people
like,
like
bro,
people like sharing people's failures. That's like the YouTube videos, the failure videos. You can type in failure and you see people fall or doing stuff. My daughter, I started seeing her watching those, and she'd always type in. I said, "Hey, man, we ain't watching that no more. It ain't funny. Why? We don't need to watch other people's failures. You know what I
right,
mean? Where you going on the computer and looking up people's failures? We ain't doing that. That
right,
was like a little life lesson I gave my daughter at one time. Like, we don't. If a video comes across and it's something funny, someone falls or something, I laugh and keep it moving. But some people like get stuck in that and want to keep watching it, and it could be addicting because you watching, you're like, ah. But when you really think about it, man, you're studying people's failures, man.
right,
We ain't
absolutely.
doing that.
So let's talk about the proverbial elephant in the room that's behind you.
What's that?
let's
What's
talk
that? Oh,
about
the
let's talk
truck.
about the shade room.
Yeah.
So like I said before, I don't really follow them, but to see somebody I love and respect in the car culture
For
come
sure.
across the shade room for something positive, Tell me how that came about. How did the truck sale
Uh,
go?
I posted the truck. The post went viral. You know, it did pretty good. Boom, cash dog hit. I was getting a lot of calls on the truck. I built the truck a couple years back. Um, my dog, one of my best friends, he's like, man, I want the truck. I want the truck. He cashed me out on the truck. My homeboy Easy. He cashed me out on the truck. And then he's had the truck now, I'd probably say about a year now, maybe a year, a little over. And he decided to sell it. So he brought it over here. I put it for sale. So right now, this truck is my dog's. You know what I mean? I sold it to him and then now I'm selling it. Boom, I posted for sale. I got the platform. We're going to put it on mine. Cash Dog hits the line and says, hey, I want to buy the truck for Zadarius Smith. I said, oh, okay. You know, her boyfriend. I said, yeah, let's work it out. And then we put the deal together and, you know, she cashed out. And that's how that went. They're going to pick it up here in a few days. And that's how that went. Next thing I post the truck sold. Zadarius shares it. You know, it starts getting shared. Next thing you know, all the little media pages. And then the big media pages pick up the story because she bought him a truck. And, you know, ladies, do more of that. Y'all need to, you know, it's okay to buy your man an old school, especially if you buy it from Landlord Jack.
You know what? I love. First of all, I love that. I love that for you. I love
Thank you.
that for her because that's really a dream of mine. You know what I'm saying? I really, really. You remember Waka Flocka when he was married to Tammy, and she bought him. I think it was an '86 or '87. She bought him a Cutlass, right?
The one
And
with all the fiberglass and all the shit.
she fixed it up. Like, she's not a car girl. She don't
Yeah.
know. But it's the fact that she was being sweet. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
For sure.
he said that was the year he was born. It was his dream car. So she was being sweet, and then in the comments the people was tearing her apart and woo de
How
woo.
did
I
you
was
feel
like,
about that?
huh?
How did you feel about her buying him the car?
I love that. I said I can't
Y'all
wait to
hear
get
that?
somebody.
Y'all hear that?
I said I
Hey,
can't wait to get somebody.
I ain't just give y'all the free play like that no more. KP says she loves that. That means she love to buy her boyfriend a dunk. Man. All
I don't
right,
know
y'all.
about it. We'll talk about it. But I think, like, I've always thought it would be dope to have two car people. Like, cause I know
Yeah,
couples, both of them car
sure.
people, they have to figure out
Sure.
who gonna get this blower this
Yeah.
time. Like, we're gonna flip for it. Like, what we gonna
Yeah.
do? And I think that would be super dope. I would love. You see how you got that bow back there? I already have that in my head to do for somebody. It's gonna be the bow, the whole blindfold. It's
I'm gonna
dope.
help you do it. You just let me know what car you're looking for.
Well,
I got the bow already. I ain't even, you can use my bow.
well, seeing as I'm single, it might be a while before we figure that
Your
part
show,
out.
what's this? Your show you do?
Yeah, the
Uh,
single show.
yeah, down in the DM. There y'all go. There's your topic. Should the woman buy the man a car?
They should. But you know, the sad and unfortunate part is, a lot of men date women for. Let me see. I want to put this very. They don't date women who probably could afford to buy them a car. So a lot of men date women for um, maybe looks and
Yeah,
not on a certain caliber. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That
So
makes sense.
they
But them
might not be
looks
able
ain't
to.
bought no car yet neither. the
Right.
brains
Right.
bought it. The brains get the money.
Right. So
Sure, now you're right.
if you have not already built your dream car, what is your dream car to build or own?
Um, I really don't have like a specific like dream car. Like that's it. This is I done made it to it. It's more of a dream collection. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like I want this. You know, but it seems like when I get this, I sell it. You know what I mean? I don't sell it because it's like I need that money to do something. I sell it more because like I kind of blur with it. I sell it, but my dream car, I don't know, probably my dunk. My dunk right here. This is like this everything to me.
You said you had a dream collection. You got a rundown on the collection?
Um, yeah, yeah. All pretty much the typicals, but there's a couple that aren't. Like I want a 75 Buick LeSabre in my collection. That's one of my cars I've always loved. I want a 72 Electra Deuce and a quarter. These are
Yeah, my
like
brother
cars
used to
people
have
would
one
be
of
like,
them.
what? Then let me get to the, a Camaro, 69 Camaro, Chevelle, take a 70, 72 Chevelle. Uh, 87 Monte Carlo T-top SS. I want that same burgundy color that the crack dealer had. 96 Impala. 75. I take all the year don'ts. I take a 71 through 76. Any of I'd like to have all of it. You know what I mean? Glass house, verts, all of it. Have all of it. Station wagons, all that shit. Uh, OBS. I want a 90s OBS, a square body, a 69 C10 step side, and then that's it really as far as like the Porsche. That's one of them cars too over here that was one of my dream cars growing up. Was a
Hmm.
Porsche 911, a wide body 911, and But most of all that stuff I've had.
Right.
Most of all the cars besides like the '69 Camaro Chevelle, I done had all of them.
Um, I got a homeboy. He got every year dunk in both. He got a convertible and a hard top.
That's wrong. Who's
I
that?
said, boy, he don't get on the internet though
Nah. Oh, cool. That's dope.
for different reasons, but he ain't getting on the internet. But the last time I looked at him, I was like, bro, you have got to show somebody these cars. He's like, no, I don't.
Yeah, you know what? He's a car guy.
Right,
He's doing it for himself. He likes what he likes,
right.
even if someone ain't looking at it. Yeah, I like him. He's cool.
I just said the other day I was thinking about putting me together an OBS, but let me tell you something. This Monte Carlo been kicking my butt. I'm gonna finish it,
Yeah.
and when I
It's
finish it,
coming. It's looking good so far. I like it.
when I finish that Monte Carlo, I will never listen. Built not bought for me is overrated. I'm gonna buy it and change the paint and change the
Ain't
rims.
nothing wrong with buying something already put together at all. I back that 100%. I like putting cars together. You know what I like? I like buying clean cars. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Really, that's what I like buying. I like buying clean cars where it's not like, oh, we're gonna be putting new quarter panels and cutting floors in and doing this and that. I don't mind buying a car that's already painted and just clean, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put my suspension on it. I'll do the motor swap. Uh, just clean.
Now, next time for me, I'm gonna change the paint and change the rims. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't changed, and I'm gonna put some tint on it. Cause being from Florida, I'm gonna tint everything. I'm not never riding in no glass house. I'm
Dude,
tinting
I'm glad.
everything.
I don't know. I'm glass house shorty, man. My Rolls Royce, I ain't got no tint. My Dunk, no tint. I just bought a new truck, and that truck had tint, and I was like, man, I said, it was a black truck too, so the black tint looks good. I said, man, I'm gonna leave it, but I normally don't ride tint.
Right. So if there was somebody that was looking to get um into the car culture, what would be the biggest lesson you would looking to build and get into the car culture? What would be the biggest lesson you would
Um,
tell them?
Getting into the car culture, you would mean like meeting the community of the car culture?
No, building something.
Just all right, building a car. Okay, getting in the car game. Um, Buy something clean. That's like rule number one. Anybody who builds a car, I don't care. I don't care who it is. Any of these big shops, anybody. You save more money buying a car clean than buying that rust bucket. That you're like, man, I'm gonna get it for 2,000. They want 20,000 for a clean one. I know where a vert is for 5,000,
Right.
bro. You're gonna be 30,000 in 3 more years in. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what I think. And then just buying clean, and I like custom. You know what I mean? I have a motor. You know, my car's hit all the way through.
Right.
But that original, you know, Sonny preaches it. That original shit is really where the money's at. Original never goes out of style. Eventually, this Whipple supercharger is gonna be outdated. These, you
Right.
know, certain things will be outdated. That original's never outdated. That's what it is.
Let me tell you something. I've been to Barrett Jackson about 3 times. And when I tell you some of the stuff that goes through Barrett Jackson and you see it, you be like, bruh, this is crazy.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's wild for
Crazy.
sure.
I and let me tell you something. It'd be some big money in that room. It'd be people on the phone bidding 300,
For sure.
400,000. I'm like, bro, I really got to step my game up. It inspires me. It don't make me want to hate. It inspires me.
Yeah. Well, you start realizing it's another thing in the car cultures. There's a bunch of different cultures to where you know you have the low riders, you have like I said, different groups where we get stuck and we're in our car culture with these dunks and G bodies and what we have going on that we get so wrapped up in this and we're like so and so's the big dog, so and so's this, and you know in this little group we got. Then you go over there and you go see Barrett Jackson or you go to Seymour or you go to these real shows and you're like, hey man, we ain't shit over here in this club, man. We over here, we man, we the broke uncle that acts like we got it. You know what I mean? That's
Right,
all we are. We might got a couple dollars, but man, these folks over here, he just spent $1 million on cars today. You know, that's why I like that's once again not being the biggest person in the room. You go to Barrett Jackson, man, you know, some heavy hitters. You know what I mean?
right, right. And they look so no like the man was in the front bidding on the. I say he looked so regular.
Yeah. Yeah,
They was
nah.
calling him by his name too, right? I was like, I need to go introduce myself to him.
Yeah, he knows something. Knows something that's for sure.
So, if you could, if what is like something that you would like for your fans, followers, supporters? Don't really seem like you got no haters, but I guess even them. What is something you would like them to know about Landlord Jack?
Uh, I don't know. I put it out. Good energy, love, man. You know, I don't. Hey, man. I hope we win. Whatever your business is, I hope it succeeds, man. I want, man. I want the people who are good to win, and I want the haters to win because they can finally quit hating. Then they could be like, man, everybody's hating on me, and they really are. You know what I mean? Because you winning, bro. Don't be the
Right,
hater. You know, I want them just to change positions.
right.
So love.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned in your life?
Um. Really, it's my daughter. My daughter's taught me like some big lessons. My daughter taught me, you know, time. You know what I mean? Like you see something and you watch something grow in front of you and change. It teaches you to cherish time. You
Right,
know, that's what I've learned. You know, maybe it's older age, you're getting wiser, but I never really paid attention to like how I change. You know, but my daughter, I see her and she's like boom, 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 grown, grown, grown. Like there's so many different changes in a short period of time that I realize I'm never gonna get back. That it made me cherish time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a lot of things you can get back in life, but time is definitely the probably maybe the only thing you
Time's the most
can't get.
valuable thing. That's why I suggest selling it. You know, you rent houses out. You're selling time 1 month at a time.
Makes
So
sense.
that time. That's it.
Yeah.
Time waits for no man. I got it tattooed on me. Time waits for no man. Uh, time. Cherish it. You know.
Those are all the questions I have. You got anything else you want to go over before we get out of here?
Nah, I'm good, man. You know, thank you for having me on here. Thank you for all the support. You know, definitely it's all love. If there's ever anything I could do to, help you, tag me and I see it and it flows with what I'm doing, I'm sharing it. You know what I mean? If I don't tag me the next day, maybe the next day is the day. The same thing with this interview, however I can support, I can support. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
And
What you got?
those likes are free, and people still don't give them away. You know what I mean? Give them away.
I think that you definitely dropped a jewel right there. They listen. Too much of a nosy to unfollow you, and too much of
Yeah,
a hater to like your post.
yeah. They don't want to push either like button or unfollow button. Them
Right.
buttons
Right.
restricted.
Sometimes you just gotta make them unfollow you. I don't never, even if I know somebody don't really
Nah,
particularly
they don't
care
want
for
to
me.
unfollow me. They gonna lose them likes. I be hitting the like button for them. I be looking out, man. Don't. I'm a supporter, man. No, don't unfollow me, man. Don't follow me. Hey, one day we might be cool again, and you gotta follow me back. Damn.
Right. And
So
then
man,
I'm gonna see
nah,
it.
leave it alone, man.
And then I'm gonna see it because 9 times out of 10,
Yeah.
I didn't know you unfollow me anyway.
You know what's crazy when you build a platform big enough, right? And people block you, right? They block me. Boom. So now they can't see me. What you got to do is you got to shine so bright that other people are posting you. You know, the shade room. You know how many people might have me blocked, and then the shade room has Landlord Jack on there. Damn, they gonna block the shade room too. Make yourself big enough where they can't block you. So they're gonna see you. Why I'm following? Why I'm following? You're gonna see me, and
Right.
when you see me, I'm gonna be shining.
Right.
You
Right.
know, so why I'm following.
What you got coming up next?
We got the dog show November 15th. Um, November 15th, all bark, no bite dog show. Um, I'm a special guest there. We got Mook Boy coming. He's gonna be there with me. Gonna be a big dog show. I'm big in the dog game too. You know, I don't really post a lot on my page. My wife does the dogs, but it's Sunny Florida Frenchies is the name of my dog camp. It's on IG.
Okay.
Definitely check it out. But yeah, it's a dog show that's gonna be the next thing I'm hosting.
Okay. Okay. Well, Jack, let me say this. Like I said, I've, I got, I really believe in giving people their flowers while they're here to smell them. If it don't make no sense to give it to you when you gone, you can't smell them. I really have to say, we talked for a long, long time, like in the DMs, and then when I finally met you, you were such a pleasant person to be around.
Thank you. That means a lot. You as well.
Yeah.
Not definitely
I,
positive energy.
I was like, when I was driving back to Atlanta, I was like, I like him.
Thank you. That means a lot. I met a lot of good people in the car game. You know, my dog Q was on here. You know, Q Visions into Reality. Pretty,
Mm-hmm.
pretty good dude, man. That's little bro. So definitely, dope girl Nay. You know what I mean? She's I've been a part of her show for the past 2 years. She's always been real supportive, showed nothing but love. You know, great people. You know, so and that's the show that you was at. You was
Mm-hmm.
helping support and everything. So and Q comes out there every year too. But yeah, I've met a lot of good people in the car world. So whatever weird comes with it, I'm cool with what I got paid.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
I met a lot of great people. Like I met people that I never knew they were gonna turn into family. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like we all have a common, like, we like cars and bikes and whatever we like, right? But then we get to being around each other so much and talking to each other so much online and in our DMs. It's
Yeah.
kind of like, dang, this my brother from another mother, or my
You
sister
start
from
learning
another mother,
people.
or this my cousin. You know what I'm saying?
You grow with people too. You're growing. You're watching people's growth. You watch people's platforms grow. You watch people have kids. You watch people pass away. You watch people build this car. And you just the internet. You get to see all of this and like grow with somebody who's not even right there around you. It's uh, it's pretty cool. So I take the bad that comes with it.
Well, I appreciate you. Like I said, I know you one of the busiest men in show business, especially now that you not that you weren't global before, but now that you done went global yet again yesterday or today
Yeah.
or whenever that happened. At this point, go on and hire a secretary. If you need a secretary and you want them virtually, I'm
There
I'm
you
available.
go. There you go.
Just hit me up. but
I'm tough to work for.
but thank you, Jack. I appreciate you.
All right. You have a great night. Thanks for having me on.
All right, you too.
All right.
Bye bye. So, guys, if y'all missed any of tonight's episode of Rides and Vibes with guest Landlord Jack, make sure you catch the full replay on YouTube. You can subscribe to the YouTube by clicking the link in my bio. Again, thank you guys for tuning in to tonight's episode of Rides and Vibes, and I'll see you next Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode. Good night.